Buenas noches, mi gente, and welcome to UCTV, brought to you by Unity Coalition, Coalicion, Unida. Just watching that video before our show today always makes me happy to see the whole group of Unity Coalition together. What an incredible group of people. And without them, this show would not be possible. So I got to give a big shout out to all the people that were on that video. John and Kashai and Luisito and David and Melba and tons of people on there. Thank you so much. So UCTV was started with a goal, una meta, to entertain, to educate, to unite during a time when we couldn't leave the house because of the pandemic. Now that we're finally seeing the light, we decided to add more fabulousness to the show, and here we are. So if you've been enjoying the show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Unity Coalition, so you don't miss a single episode. Yo soy FayWhat. So one of my favorite episodes that I've done here at UCTV was Tuck Talk, Behind the Padding. And what a better way to pay homage to that episode than to have one of my favorite people on the planet, my sister, CC Glitzer, back to the show. So my sister girl is here. And then we end the show, as we have always, from the beginning with a funny segment. And you know it's going to be some drag queen terminology up in here, so the library will be open once again. But first, so drag queens have been around since 1870. You know, drag isn't just a cutesy performance or a hobby. The history, the diversity, and the importance of drag, well, it's complicated, even for people who know their stuff and have been in the community for decades. And we, as outsiders, want to know more, as do all of you, our viewers. Now, they are the biggest hosts of our most favorite events, from gay pride parades, brunches, pageants, nightclubs, cabarets, bringing their passion for dance, lip sync, and even live singing. If LGBTQ plus was a sport, well, then drag queens would be our cheerleaders. And our next guest has all these amazing qualities that make up such an important part of our gay culture. Like RuPaul says, we are born naked and the rest is drag, bitch. I added the bitch. So let's get started with our special guest. Born and raised in Germany, where she started doing drag 6 years ago, I think now it's probably like 7, before moving to Miami. Locally, she started her drag career at Score Nightclub and Our House Drag Brunch, and continues to work at many local venues and events, parties, brunches in Miami and Fort Lauderdale. You can catch CC at the Gathering Hotel for Wednesday night trivia and Fridays for the RuPaul Drag Race viewing party, which is so much fun. We're going to put that information up on the screen for you so you can follow Ms CC wherever she goes, and make sure that you follow her on social media as well. Then without any further ado, help me welcome Ms CC Glitzer!
Hi!
Sister girl, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for saying yes again.
Thank you for having me again.
You're so cute. All right, so let's get started. I mean, there are so many drag questions that we can ask, and I just think that you're just the perfect person for this. The reason that, I say this is that there are times when people don't feel that it's their job in the LGBTQ community to educate others, right? So if someone is mispronounced, or maybe just, something is said to them out of context, instead of getting mad, we should turn around and educate people. And you've been someone that has always been that way since day one. And I love that about you. You make drag relatable. You give people the impression that they could come up to you and talk to you, and that you're not going to send them to hell. And that is one of the many qualities that I love about you, CC. How do you stay so humble?
Good question. How do I stay so humble? I mean, I would say it all comes from a place that is very loving and giving and sharing, like everything I know about drag, everything I know about my culture and our community is basically self-taught because I'm really interested in it, and I'm doing a lot of research about our community and drag. I never had a drag mother, so everything I know and everything I do is self-taught as well. And why not give that and share it with other people who would like to have the knowledge,
You don't. You
or
just
who
don't.
don't.
Yeah, no, completely. But a lot of people don't think that way, Cece. You'd be surprised, where like that's just instant for you. You're like, why wouldn't I be? Like, why wouldn't
Yeah.
I be humble? I'm blessed to have this job and, I do something that I love to do. So, many drag queens will, and nothing against them, it is a lot of work and what you put into a performance. But there'll be a lot of times where the drag queens will just do their performance, yeah, and that's it. Well, you're like, even during COVID, you were like, all right, stand 6 feet apart, but give me some leg love, do a little dance for me or something.
Yes, 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 totally.
Is there
Well,
is there a difference?
uh-huh.
Sorry. Go on. I'm sorry.
Look at this. My dog is right in the screen. Well, I have to say, like, every now and then you are tired after a performance, and I mean, you're basically a public figure, and you can't be like 24/7 happy and good and everything is perfect, sunshine, rainbow, blah blah blah. Um, we are human beings too, and every now and then we have like a bad moment, and we might sound a little bitchy or something, right? It shouldn't be like that, and you always should have time for your fans and always have like a little talk with your fans. And especially this is for me the moment that makes me and makes what I am doing so good and so loved, because the feedback that I'm getting from a fan or from someone that comes up to me and say, "Oh my gosh, I love you so much. The show was great. You are so beautiful. You're so great." And this is why I am doing that, because of that feedback, you know. And I feel like every queen, no tea, no shade, should have that 2 minutes in her life and talk to their fan and don't be rude.
It's true. Is there a difference between what's the biggest difference between you and your drag persona? So between Sasha and CC Glitzer.
Um, I wouldn't say there is much of a difference anymore at that point. What the last 2 years actually brought to me, to my drag persona and to my out of drag life, is that the two personas are melting more and more together, which I really enjoy and which I really like. Cece has a lot of strength, and she's powerful, and she has no fear, and she is loud, and she is outspoken, and she says basically what she thinks. You may like it or not, but she don't give a fuck, right? Am I allowed to say fuck? Ooh.
We only get one bad word per week, so you just used
Okay,
it. That's
it's going to be hard for me. I'm going to boom it this episode probably. but
Oh my
but
god.
Sasha is getting more and more like that as well, and that's what how Cece was born, because Sasha was like holding back and more introvert and like shy and not head up and outspoken and loud, and now he is starting to take this from CC and putting it in his everyday life, which is amazing because CC is teaching him a lot. And
So so so
I
see
love
so
that
so, so
CC is doing that.
Cece is giving Sasha cojones, basically.
Yes, yes. She grabbed him by the cojones and
By the
said, "Come
cojones.
on, here, boy. You
I
got
love
this,
that. I
boy."
love that. You got this.
Yes,
Exactly.
and
No,
that's
but I love that.
and that's what why RuPaul is saying, we all born naked and the rest is drag. We all can learn from our drag personas and use it in everyday life. And that's what I'm starting to realize, that, oh my gosh, CC Glitzer is not just on stage. You can use that persona in your everyday life, at work, when you go to the grocery store, when in whatever kind of situation, right? And that's beautiful. That's amazing.
What do you think are the biggest misconceptions that people think about being a drag queen?
The biggest misconception, I think, still is, um, that people think, because I do look like a woman right now and I dress like a woman, that I want to be a woman, right? And that's
Mm-hmm.
not the case. Most of the drag queens enjoy being a man and want to be a man, right? And in their day life, this is just a way to express myself, a way, how I shine, a way how I entertain and bring my art form to life, right? But I don't want to be a woman at all.
It's your
You
creative
know?
outlet. It's your creative outlet.
Exactly.
Like for
I,
example, like I can mention your husband. That's okay, right?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so so Randolph is this
You did it already.
incredible dancer. He's just this incredible dancer, and like he doesn't even have to talk to you. He will do an expressive kind of dance, and you will be in tears, and you will get the story, and you get it. You know, like
Yeah,
this is your creative. This is how you entertain. This is how you give your gift to the world, so to speak. But you're happy being Sasha. You're a adorable boy. I've hung out with you in your boy side, and you know you're just as comfortable as a boy as you are dressed as Cece.
yes. It took a while to get me there to be like that as a boy. And that's why I was saying before, Cece is teaching Sasha, and Sasha is taking more and more of Cece to be fearless, fierce, and completely confident in my skin, which is amazing. But yeah, lately I've heard a lot from people, like asking, are you transsexual? Do you want to be a woman, when they see me in drag? Which is not, I'm not getting mad if someone asks me like that, because they don't know better, right? Which brings us back to the education, and we have to educate the people, which is more important now than it was before, because now, I would say the straight community is exposed to all these TV shows on, national TV worldwide, right? It's not just in the United States, it's happening worldwide. And it's like, we have Pose, we have Legendary, we have RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars. There are so many LGBTQIA plus shows on national TV now that straight people are watching and are big fans of it. They love it, they like it, right? But they still don't know, what is going on at the end of the day. They see me like this and they think, oh, she's either transsexual or she wants to be a woman. No, I do not. I am a man. I enjoy and I love being a man. And this is just my art form to express myself.
You know that last year was tough with COVID, and then like you know a couple months after COVID hit us, then the Black Lives Matter protests began, and you know COVID was not going to stop us from being out there and protesting for our Black and Brown brothers and sisters. Do you think that there's any diversity issues within the drag community?
Mm, explain it a little deeper. Any
Well, like
diversity
do you,
issues?
yeah,
You know,
like do you
I'm
think
not American.
girl, you've gotten more and more American since you moved to Miami Beach than ever. So don't get it twisted. So do you think that it's easier for a white queen to get booked over a black or brown queen?
Oh, I personally don't think so, and I don't think that should be an issue. If I book a entertainer, period, I book the entertainer because of talent. I book this particular entertainer, drag queen, whatever, because of his or her talent, and I like what this person is giving, what this person is serving, right? And I don't look at a skin color at all. And I think that should be the way. God damn it, that should it should be like that. That you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't. judge or book or hire someone because of skin color or of ethnic or whatever race. You should book an entertainer because of talent. Period.
I agree. I agree. I agree. And I'm gonna do a little clap for that. Are drag queen and I think I know the answer to this, but I am still gonna ask. Are drag queens catty?
Caddy.
Yeah, like are they catty? Like, well, you know how you know the movie Showgirls
I,
when
I got
Elizabeth
you.
threw when she threw the balls down the stairs so the first girl could fall and mess her up her leg so she can be the at the front of the performances. You know, like what are do you think that drag queens are catty? Do you think that they talk crap about other drag queens behind their back to have them lose validity or to not get booked or to stop somebody from being booked in one place or another because of stupid crap?
Oh, totally. That's showbiz. That's showbiz, honey.
Hmm.
I do have to say, the drag community here in Miami, it's a beautiful sisterhood. Everyone helps each other out, and it's I have won so many sisters these last 3 years since I moved to Miami. That's unbelievable, and I love every single one of them, right? But we're also showbiz girls, right? So of course there's cattiness, of course there's tea, of course there's shade, of course we talk. We also humans, right? That's like I think that's human nature. We all talk
That's
shit
being
about
women.
someone.
That's being a woman, even if you're only a woman part time. It really is. Like I'm constantly having
Exactly.
conversations with my girls. Like, look, we got to hold each other up. There is no stepping each other down. Women are so used to just like, oh, getting the attention. Oh, it must be, I have to be in the attention before this person. There's space for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah, yeah. There is space for everybody, I agree. But then there's always or sometimes situations where you just talk bullshit about someone. At least you have to be true to yourself. Like I am like that. If I say something behind your back, I will say it right in your face too, right? I don't care. Like that's how I feel. That's how I think. That's how I think about you right now. You may not like it, but I also don't care, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Um,
and you can't live your life
it
worried
might
about
it might
everybody else.
exactly. It might sound harsh. It might not be the nicest. And if I realize that I was a bitch, I also can go to that person and say, "Hey, listen, the other day or 5 minutes ago, um, I was a bitch and I apologize. Let's go have a drink." That's what you. That's what I think you should do too. If you are catty and if you are a bitch, you also should know your place and say, "Hey, listen, fucked up. Let's go have a drink and a little kiki
So
and
that is
walk
that
in."
w- the, that was the end of the questions that I had. But before the show started, we were talking about what happened on South Beach, what happened at the Palace Bar, and we've got to talk about this, Cece. I'm so sorry. So I think it was last week or something like that. This woman that had run for Congress but didn't make it. She had a failed attempt at running for Congress for here in Florida. So she went to the palace, okay? An anti LGBT person went to the palace. I'll leave that. I'll let that sit with you for a bit. So she decided to video a little girl that was playing around with a drag queen, having the freaking time of her life. And so she decided to put that video up. It went viral, and saying that the kids were being exploited, that the kids were borderline being sexualized, disgusting, horrible things. And now the palace is getting death threats. They have said things to the point of you deserve to happen to you what happened to the people at Pulse, which is a disgusting, disgusting just sentence to even say to the people at Palace. You started your career. You used to also be one of the guest drag queens over at Palace. What do you think about this story and how just rude and gross it is?
Well, first of all, I have to say these girls who are getting these death threats right now, these are my sisters, right? I've worked with many of them. I see them a lot, and it's shocking and horrifying to me um, that they get these messages from people that are obviously not smart or do not have a brain at all in their head. And excuse me, I'm probably getting like I'm using like all the bad words right now, but there is no other language that I can use for people like that. These are people who do not have any attention in their life from anybody, and all they want is attention, and they cannot handle that people who are performing getting this attention that they are not getting, right? So first of
Yeah.
all, that then saying that these kids who are coming to a drag show with their parents, right? Um, are being sexual objects or sexual abuse, to take it even further, right? Let me tell you this, and I said that earlier before to you already. Let me tell you this. Do you actually know how many of our LGBTQIA plus community members, each and every single letter in our community, has been abused in a very young age, sexually abused in a very young age? Do you really think that people who have been sexually abused would do that to any any other human being in the world? I don't think so. And I do not believe that anyone who experienced something like that would do anything that something like that is not going to happen to anyone else ever, right? It's like it makes me sick to my stomach and sick to my head that this stupid, stupid human being who has no attention in her life because she failed, right? She
Mm-hmm.
failed of being a politician, right? She failed in it. She's not getting the attention because she's not good in what she's doing, right? And then she's seeing a performer on stage having a great time with a child, a kid, getting attention. And that's why you do something like that, because you don't get this attention. And that's your
Mm-hmm.
problem, right?
Well, and to
And
say something like Pulse, like, you deserve to be like Pulse, where 49 of our brothers and sisters were slaughtered, Cece,
yes,
and we're coming up on the 5-year anniversary of that. Those aren't
yes.
words that you just say. Like, I got goosebumps
Oh
all up
no.
and down my body right now,
Yes,
because it's like, what a POS you are to say something like that. I've been to
yes,
Hooters plenty of times where it's a little boy's birthday or a little girl's birthday, and they put the little boy or girl on a chair on top of a table. They put two balloons in their shirts to, like, say like they have boobs, Hooters, and no one says S
yes,
about that. No one has a problem
yes,
with that. I think that's a
yes,
little a little extreme if you really want to put it in those kind of terms, and nobody has an issue with that.
yes,
But because it's Palace, it's LGBTQ, and it's this is these girls' livelihood. You can close a place down because they have reported them to Miami-Dade police. They want the Palace to be looked at. I mean, to be investigated. Are you kidding me? Like, come on.
yes. It's just insane. That's the girl's job. They work there every day. It's their main income. Th- you can they can ruin like a person's life. It's like it's their main job. They don't do anything else, right? They work. They have 5 days a week at the palace, like you go to the
Yeah.
office, or like you go be a nurse, or like you go be a
Yep.
baker. What the fuck? Like for real, what is going on? I appreciate every time I see a kid or a child in a show that I am hosting, or in a show that I am performing in, because I see it like the parents who are bringing their kids to a drag show are actually educating their children, right? They
Exactly.
tell them, they tell them, oh look, we go into a drag show. It's a lot of fun. It's a female impersonation. It's a man behind it, right? If you go to a drag show, classic drag show, it's usually a man wearing women's clothes, a wig, whatever. They're educating their kids in a young age. So stupid people like this woman are not going to be around anymore, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the purpose, and that's the goal. And they're explaining their kids, oh look, that is a transgender, this is a transsexual person, etc. pp. Look, this is It's a human being. It's just like you and me. They just love the same sex, or they are interested in that. It's education. It has nothing to do with any kind of abuse at all.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that stings because when we first started, I don't want to say getting the limelight, but when we were talked about more as an LGBTQ community, those were words
Yeah,
that they would always put with us: gays, they're pedophiles, you know. So it's
yeah,
like those, when you put those words together, it makes us very uneasy because we are so far from that. Your kid would be in much better hands with any of us than with than with people that you
yeah,
really do trust. You just don't know it.
yeah, yeah. It's so true. It's so true. The people would get much more. The children are getting much more love from a LGBTQI plus member than probably the crackhead around the corner who has given five abortions already and had their kids adopted already because she can take care of her life.
Yep,
And
yep. Well,
obviously,
Cece, you keep, you obviously, you keep on growing, you keep on, you know, like what I would love to just put you like in a bottle and then just disperse you to all the other drag queens so they can
they can have a sip of me.
so they can have a sip of you, girl. Anyway, so Miss CC, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, your insights, for always being an open book, for answering
Yeah.
whatever the hell we throw at you. You're always like, all right, yeah, whatever, F it, give it to me. So we're gonna come up with now. Our next part of the show will be our funny segment, and you know, we always have to have a little bit of humor. And I love that you always agree to stay with us for this part of the show because you make it just so much more fun and hysterical. So this part of the show, we just let it loose with a little bit of humor, drag queen terminology, and as they say, the library is open. Fwa fwa fwa. God, I need to get a fan for the next time we do this. All right. So the first word up in drag queen terminology is booger. A drag queen that a drag queen that is visually unattractive yet has a commanding stage presence.
You are fierce, mama, but you are still a booger. God damn it.
Fuck. To call out someone's flaws and imperfections in a way reveal the truth.
Girl, her dress and face cannot be clocked. Stunning bitch.
Dusty is the next word. Dusty, unclean or unkempt, just visually unappealing.
Look at how dusty she is. Can she afford a decent wig?
Speaking of decent wigs, your wig is everything, girl, and worth every penny. She told me off camera how much that wig costs. Damn! Anyway, next words. Eleganza extravaganza, an event or gathering that is at the peak of elegance and extravagance.
This eleganza extravaganza is just the type of event I deserve as a person with taste.
Yes, girl. Next is gag. Gag. To react intensively, usually as a result of shock and used as an exclamation. Gag.
Her Versace dress made us all gag in appreciation.
You know what? One of the
Honey.
many things that I love about Cece, I love her accent. You know, like you guys know, she's from Germany, right? And so if you go to her events, it's hysterical because she'll turn words around and give them her own meaning, and she'll throw in German words, and you're like, what? Anyway, but she'll read stuff and she'll have some words she won't know, but that bitch went right by Versace with no problem.
And I said, I actually said, oh my gosh, no tea, no shade. I said it the American way, and I never usually do say it the American way because I hate it because it's not Versace, it's Versace.
Well, you did it on point. Next phrase in our diva drag terminology is giving me life. A phrase used to express immense joy.
Since Faye joined UCTV, this show is giving me life.
I love that. I love that. Huh, I wonder who wrote that, Luisito Flores.
Hmm.
All right, next. Kiki, to gossip, have a small talk, chat, or heart-to-heart conversation.
We met up at the bar and had a good old Kiki. Honey, let's go have a Kiki, and later we're gonna explain the Kai Kai.
First you start with the Kiki, then you end up with the Kai Kai.
Ooh.
Lastly, ba Felicia, an expression used to dismiss a person that is annoying and irrelevant.
Your presence disturbs me. Bye, Felicia.
Well, that was it for our wonderful drag terminology with the incredible Ms CC Glitzer. CC, words cannot describe the love that I have for you, sister. Thank you for always sharing your time with us when we ask you to, and representing our community with so much freaking posh and pizzazz and glitter, of course.
Yes. And don't forget, if the world is bitter, put on some glitzer.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Cece. Thank you for being with us on our last Tuck Talk. You are incredible. Make sure that you guys go check out Cece on her social media platforms, and you also there on Tuesday and Friday. Is that correct?
Wednesday
and Friday.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
but trust me, you peek in there and she's there on days she ain't even supposed to be working. So I love you, Cece. Thank you so much, honey.
I love you too. Thank you. Mwah. I love you too.
Ay, que linda. Love her. I love her. I love her. Wow. So that was an incredible segment, and we just love CC Glitzer, and she is just an incredible friend to the show, and all who have been on this show before, we have just been blessed with some incredible guests. So it's time to have like my own little one-to-one with you guys. So a few months back, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and my mind went negative right away. I think many of us in the LGBTQ community have been through so much trauma that it takes more for us to come back from that dark side, that dark place, because it just becomes kind of comfortable, so to speak. So our secret weapon in the LGBTQ is each other. We, our chosen family, is what keeps us afloat so many times. With our chosen family, we know that we are no longer alone and with our worries. And a lot of us just like to sit with our shit, right? Yeah, I said shit. And, well, the same happened here. I asked my higher power for guidance and direction, and shortly after, I was asked to host this wonderful show on UCTV, following the fabulous Miss Samantha Latois. And I was excited to be sharing space with that diva, and her representation in the LGBTQ community was inspirational to me, to say the least. I saw the opportunity to represent you, and I couldn't wait. I jumped at the chance, even with a pending double mastectomy. And I got through it. The surgery was a success. The cancer was removed, and I got through it with the help of many people behind the scenes, including two faces and one that you must see right now. David Fernandez is not here with us today. He's our project manager, and he just always made sure that the set was on point, that I wasn't a hot mess. And trust me, guys, I'm usually a hot mess. He always just questioned my questions and challenged me to come hard with no BS. And I will always be indebted to David for that. And I love him dearly. But Luis Flores, our producer, director, cameraman, creative, everything. You've been so integral to this whole thing. And I need for you to come here for 1 second and just look at the camera. Look at him. He's just like, what is going? I did do this. So sit here.
No.
Yes, you could sit. You're not that big. Come on. All right. Mr. Luisito Flores, you are just incredible, brother. You make me a better host, a better person, a better friend, a better lesbian. I have to thank you for the biggest gift from this whole thing is keeping my sanity, but having you as a brother, making you as a brother. And I can't tell you that I can't tell you how much you mean to me, and I'm going to try not to cry and send you back to the camera over there. But
I love you, girl.
I love you, and you are my biggest gift from this project. We sat in a meeting last year, and it was the first time me and Luisito shared space. And once we started talking, I knew that my life would never be the same, and it would never not have him in it. The last few months have been educational, inspiring, and eye-opening. Our community needs more of these conversations. More of our thoughts and stories need to be heard by the masses. We are here to stay. The LGBTQ community matters, and we are here to stay. This will be my last UCTV appearance as main host. Will I pop up again? You never know with Unity Coalition. They're always trying to drag you back in, right? But you can still find me on QNews Tonight on Monday and Wednesdays, and my YouTube channel, FayWhat, on YouTube. And I'll be on stage at Stonewall Pride, Fort Lauderdale on June 19th. Lots of women events are coming up, and a lot more stuff that we all need to support as a community. So please continue to support this channel every week, every month, but keep coming back. Unity Coalition, Coalición Unida is continuing to help our community in so many ways. Support those who support us. unitycoalition.org for all the information. Thank you for giving me a place to be me, Unity Coalition. I will always be indebted for you for that, and I will always cherish these couple of months that I have spent with you guys. Whew, all right, that was tough. So you guys have an idea or a story that you want to share and you want UCTV to cover it? Cuéntanos, send it over. It might just be featured in one of their upcoming segments. Unity Coalition _UCTV, Unity Coalition on Instagram. So I want to give a big shout out to our very own Herb Sosa, the executive producer. Samantha and Herb had a vision for UCTV, and they launched this platform fearlessly. That takes attitude and knowledge. Thank you both for having the cojones to start this project. Now there's UCTV Colombia, and those folks are doing great things. Big hello to Sarai, Luna, and Joel over there. Saludos, familia. You know that we've got you en corazón over here in Miami. Please join UCTV next week for a fantastic episode with the beautiful, lovely Miss Samantha Letois. Don't forget to share, subscribe, like UCTV on YouTube, Facebook, and IG. Yo soy FayWhat! And it is not goodbye, but see you soon. As I ask all you to follow me on FayWhat on FayWhat YouTube channel, please. And I definitely know that I will be seeing a lot of you out and about, and always want to hear your feedback and what's going on in your community and your world. So with that, I say love, peace, and abundance for all. Love you guys. Catch you on the other side.
Unity Coalition, Coalición Unida, is advancing equality and fairness for the Hispanic and Indigenous LGBTQ community through education, leadership, and resources since 2002.
UCTV, our weekly online show, bringing you all the best of our organization, the LGBTQ+ community, and our allies.
Celebrate Orgullo Esta Flores Hispanic and Indigenous Pride Festival.
15 días llenos de arte, cultura, comunidad, música y mucho más.
Every October,
Celebrate Orgullo.
Unity and diversity. Elevate. A day of workshops, tools, and being nicer to yourself, each other, and the planet. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm being nicer to you, Houston.
And the planet.
And the planet.
Every year, we celebrate our Trans Art Conference and Art Lab Gallery for the trans and non-binary community.
All inclusive, our microgiving incubator fund provides funding and mentoring for startup businesses and continued education to help you achieve your goals. Giving back.
Not only do we support our community in South Florida, we also do work in Colombia and into South America.
Con recursos comunitarios, mucha ayuda, educación para nuestra comunidad más vulnerable, estamos también dando equipos de bioseguridad, pero sobre todo mucho amor.
Unity Coalition, Coalición Unida, es tu organización
for the Latinx, Hispanic, Indigenous, and LGBTQ communities.
For more information, go to unitycoalition.org. That's unitycoalition.org.